Hey Owen,
Hey Gene.
do you know anything about Steiger Craft boats?
I do.
You do?
Are. I believe they're from Massachusetts, Buzzards
Correction.
Bay area.
Well, you know what? They're built on Long Island.
They are.
But they're sold in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's it.
And guess what the two areas have in common?
What do they have in
Well,
common?
you know, there's a lot of coastal water. You need a salty boat that can move through it, and people love to fish in
They're
those
both-
two locations.
They're both.
Well, you do.
They're both within reach of tuna grounds. So this boat is a new 23, and yeah, it is really a solo tuna fisherman's boat. Obviously, you could fit another soul or two aboard, but this boat is really nicely designed for fishing the Northeast for tuna.
Wow.
You've got this doghouse, forward rigged windshield, so you know you're offshore in this boat. It's going to get wet, especially if you're running and gunning for tuna. The conditions are hardly ever perfect, so it's nice to be able to stay somewhat dry.
Got it.
The other thing is, you know, you've got really high freeboard. Again, in swells like that, you want a little bit extra to stay safe.
Sure.
And then, you know, to be able to duck in and out of the doghouse and sort of, again, if you're alone on this boat, but say you're fighting a tuna, you've got really beefy rod holders here, so, you know, you stick your pen, 130 wide or whatever you use here in there, and you can, fight the fish, run the helm. You can run around, very easily. Again, the high freeboard helps. You've got this nice custom fish box here. Obviously not really for a tuna, but for everything else. And yeah, just very, very sturdy hardware throughout. You've got a self-bailing cockpit. Always nice in a boat that's going to get full of water and blood.
Oh my gosh, and blood. You know, when I think of tuna fishing, I think about kind of running offshore, and this hull is designed to be, it's got a deep V hull, I think, and it's designed to get through some chop and rough water. But once you get there and you're fishing, you tell me, because there's an 8-foot 6-inch beam here. Are we going to get a little rocking and rolling? Can we smooth that out? Install a Seakeeper or something like that?
Yeah, so this is sort of a narrow beam, and the deep V certainly helps with that, but I believe this is about as small as you could go with a Seakeeper, but they can in fact install a Seakeeper on this boat, which
that's awesome.
Would be nice.
And with the 8-foot 6-inch beam, it's legally trailerable as well, so we can take this boat off the dock or put it in behind the car and run up and down the coast.
A very easy boat to trailer, and you'll see, this kind of design, just walking by, I noticed it as a very familiar design, but this doghouse is something you'll see on a lot of custom boats, like an old 1970s Potter-built Seacraft. You'd see somebody building this thing and putting it on, themselves, but that's what I like about what these guys did with this is they initially made this, I believe, out of aluminum or something. They were doing what people have done for decades, and they got so many notes on it, or so much interest rather, that they ended up building a mold so that they could do this with fiberglass. So this is cord fiberglass, I believe, and yeah, they just kind of made a very classic custom boat into something you can buy standard. So great boat, great price.
And a great look too. I mean, it definitely has that work boat, fish boat line and style, very serious offshore or coastal machine, which is great. And I don't see a lot of seating here for me and my friends, at happy hour. So there is another Steiger Craft here that might be suitable for those who want to fish in the day and maybe do gunk holing or cocktail cruising at night.
Yes, so I initially saw this boat and thought of it as a cocktail cruiser, but it is really a dual purpose boat.
This is the 255 Annapolis from Stiger,
right? Do you want to come aboard?
Sure. Thank you. I'm told it's a 3-year-old design, but you know, Steiger Craft doesn't bring a lot of new models to market very frequently. They bring new models into the line strategically, and I believe that models often stay in the line for a long time because this builder has a broad fan base, a rather loyal fan base. Long Island builder with 50 years in the business already, started in the 1970s, family-owned business, they began building boats in a building that was the family bakery. So maybe that's what makes them sweet, ha ha ha. But this is super comfortable, and
it is.
So this is for our cruising moments, but then when you're ready to fish, this seat kind of pulls out and we can remove it from the transom and open up the cockpit then for more serious
and
work.
You've got a decent sized live well here. You've got the engine on an out bracket. I bet this boat runs pretty well with that large out bracket. Again, this is, what's the beam? It's 8'6", so pretty narrow boat, but deep V. The bracket helps. You can put a seakeeper on it.
Awesome.
And you know, like Jean said, you've got the rocket launcher, you've got, you know, rod holders. You can certainly fish this boat, but you can also, you know, keep it as you see it now. And what a great cocktail cruiser.
It is.
Weekend boat for the family.
Yep. You could call it maybe it's got the potential to be a pocket cruiser because it's trailerable and there are accommodations below. Basically a V berth, but there is a head. So if you wanted to just spend a night, you could. Not many people will, but it's available. What I like is, you know, this fully enclosed helm and bridge deck.
It is nice to have a fully enclosed helm on a 25.5-foot boat, and you know, you do have your head down there, your V berth. I would not mind doing some pocket cruising. Might be tight for some, but it is fully serviceable.
Yeah, and another nice thing about the way they've got this enclosure here is that, you know, a lot of people think of this design as very northeast because our seasons are changeable. We get 4 of them here. But even people who live in Florida, you know, the 1 to 2 season state would like this type of boat because, hey, you know, when it gets hot, you can get in, out of the sun, get behind a window and be very comfortable. And it's got a great northeast look, I think, that can play well anywhere.
Very true. Well, we'll have to see about a little sea trial. I can do the fishing and you can do the cocktail cruise.
I think that sounds like a plan. Let's set it up.
All right. Well, stay tuned for more at Power and Motor Yacht and Soundings, and we'll see you on the water.
It is a cute boat, even though it shouldn't. It's cute.